100,000 years ago, someone sat alone in a cave, in the dark. Someone they loved was gone. There were no words for this pain, no therapy, no late night voice notes, just silence and a pain with no name. And yet, they survived. They healed. The way they healed is something modern psychology is only now beginning to understand. If you've ever had your heart broken and felt like nothing was working, this video is for you. Here's something that most people don't know. Archaeologists have been digging up ancient human burial sites for centuries, and what they keep finding surprises them every single time. They find flowers. One of the oldest known burials in Shanidar cave in Iraq was a Neanderthal burial site estimated to be over 60,000 years old. And inside they found pollen from multiple types of flowers, arranged, intentionally placed around the body. They find grave goods, tools, jewelry, food placed beside the dead, not for survival, not useful, just meaningful. They find red ochre, a pigment, painted on the bodies of the deceased, a ritual color, the color of blood, of life, of love. What does this tell us? It tells us that ancient humans didn't just drop their dead and move on. They marked the ending. They created a ritual for the pain. And psychologically, that is one of the most profound things a human being can do. Because here's what modern grief therapy has confirmed. The brain needs a marker to know that something has ended. Without a ritual, without a ceremony, without a physical act that says this is real and I acknowledge it, the brain loops. It keeps searching, it keeps hoping, it keeps reopening the wound. Ancient humans didn't know neuroscience, but they knew this instinctively. They buried their grief with their loved ones, and they gave themselves permission to feel it fully before they moved on. It's a lesson from our ancestors that we still need today. To acknowledge the ending is to begin the healing. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. When you go through heartbreak, what do? If you're honest, you probably go quiet. You withdraw. You stop telling people how bad it actually is. You post something vague on your story. You say, "I'm fine," to anyone who asks. You grieve alone. And this is one of the most painful things about modern heartbreak. We've been convinced that suffering in silence is strength. But 100,000 years ago, that would have been unthinkable. Ancient humans lived in tribes of 20 to 50 people. Everyone knew everyone. When one person was in pain, the whole tribe felt it. Grief was not a private experience, it was a shared one. The anthropologists who study modern indigenous tribes consistently document the same thing. When someone loses a partner, a child, a close friend, the tribe gathers. They sit together. They don't necessarily say the right things. There are no right things to say, but they stay. They remain present in the pain together. There's a term for this in psychology: co-regulation. When you are in emotional distress, your nervous system is dysregulated. Your cortisol is elevated. Your threat response is activated. You feel unsafe. And the fastest, most effective way to calm a dysregulated nervous system is proximity to another regulated nervous system. In other words, a calm, present person sitting with you does more for your healing than almost any other intervention. Ancient humans had this built into their lives by default. We have to consciously choose it, and most of us don't. So ask yourself honestly, is there one person you've been hiding your real heartbreak from? One person who would sit with you if you just let them? There's one more thing ancient humans did. And this one is the most psychologically sophisticated of all. After the grief ritual, they marked a new beginning. Many ancient cultures had a specific moment, a ceremony, a physical act, a change of appearance that signaled the transition from person in mourning to person continuing to live. Some cut their hair as a physical sign. Some painted their bodies. Some moved to a different part of the camp. Some changed their name to reflect their new self. Some created something, a carving, a tool, a piece of art that represented the life continuing beyond the loss. This is not just cultural tradition. This is advanced psychological engineering. Modern therapy calls this narrative identity reconstruction, the process of rewriting your personal story to include the loss without being defined by it. It's one of the most effective elements of grief therapy. But ancient humans didn't need a therapist to tell them this. They built it into the structure of how they lived. The ritual said, "You are allowed to be broken. You are allowed to grieve fully. And then, when you are ready, you are allowed to continue." There was no timeline pressure. No, you should be over it by now. No moving on before the body and mind were ready. Just feel it fully, together, and then begin again. And maybe that's thing modern heartbreak is missing the most. Not advice, not distraction, not someone telling you it gets better, but permission, a ritual, a community, and a moment where you decide, I have honored this, and now I continue. So, what does this mean for you? Sitting here in 2026 with a phone in your hand and a pain in your chest. It means that what you need is not more thinking about it, not more analyzing, not more voice noting into the void. You need to do what your ancient ancestors did. First, create a ritual for the ending. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Write a letter you never send. Light a candle and sit with the loss for 10 minutes. Go to a place that meant something and say goodbye to it out loud. Give your brain a physical marker that says, this is real and I acknowledge it. Second, stop grieving alone. Tell one person the full truth of how bad it actually is. Not a summarized version, the real version. You don't need them to fix it. You just need them to sit with you in it. That alone begins to regulate your nervous system. Third, move your body through the pain. Not to distract yourself, but to process it. Cry if you need to cry. Go for a long walk. Put on music that matches the feeling, not music that tries to override it. Let your body do what it was designed to do. And finally, when you're ready, not when the world tells you to be, mark the new beginning. Change something, create something, begin something small, not because the pain is gone, but because you're ready to carry it differently. You were designed to survive this. 100,000 years of humans before you survived their worst heartbreaks without a single self-help book. The wisdom is already inside you. It's ancient, it's yours, and it's waiting. If this video found you at the right moment, I want you to know that your pain is not weakness. It is proof that you loved something real. And if there's a specific part of your healing you're struggling with right now, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And I'll see you in the next one.